Okay, so I've sort of lost count of the number of these videos I've done now, but this is a basic Python tutorial on how to while loops. Done for loops, done variables, done data types, and all that sort of stuff. Now we're getting into slightly more complicated stuff now, which is while loops. Again, like with lots of the other videos, I am going to keep this simple. I'm not going overboard, and there is far more things you could do with while loops than what I'm going to do here, but it is just the very basics, like what it is, how it works. So basically, I mean, some people describe while loops as a loop that you would use when you don't know when the end is, as opposed to for loops where you sort of want to do it 3 times. A while loop doesn't really work like that. I prefer to describe it, it's when a particular condition is met. Okay, so something that I haven't really discussed yet, and I will discuss probably in another video, is Boolean data types or Boolean logic. And basically what a while loop is a question, like, has this condition been met, true or false, is what it's sort of asking itself. And if it has been met, then it will do something, and if it hasn't, it'll end, or the other way around. Depends how you've programmed it. So the absolute most basic while loop will be something like this. So while true, colon, print, are we there? Yeah. Now, my kids in my sort of year 10, year 11 classes haven't quite remembered this one yet, but I have seen it done, whereby you write this, you hit run, and this happens. It just runs indefinitely, and what's happening there is the RAM on your computer is just getting filled with rubbish, and eventually the computer will crash. So we don't want that, so we're going to kill that program. And what we're saying, what this says is, while nothing is true, just keep printing this. That is the most basic version of a while loop that there is, but it doesn't really do anything. So we're going to hashtag that out so it doesn't run, and we're going to do something a little more interesting. I'm going to make a sort of a counter thing. So we're going to start with a variable, we're going to call it count, we're going to make it equal to the integer value of 0. And then we're going to type while. While needs to be in a lowercase w. If you type it with an uppercase, the computer sees it as a variable. So it needs to be in lowercase, and you'll know you've done it right because it's sort of this sort of orangey color. Okay, and my condition is going to be while count is less than, I was going to do 10, but let's do 5, so it's shorter. So while count is less than 5, colon, enter, and you'll notice it's indented. And then we can do something. What is actually going to happen here is something is going to happen 5 times. That is the ultimate goal. It amounts to the same as a for loop set to repeat 5 times. But what you have to think of this as is, while this condition has not been met, then we're going to do this stuff down here. Or in fact, while this condition has been met, so whilst the value of count is less than 5, we're going to keep asking questions. At this point, the value of count is always going to be less than 5, but you'll see how we overcome that in a second. So we're going to have a variable there. Let's say we'll call it item is equal to input, and our prompt, good grammar, always important. What would you like? Question mark, speech mark, close our brackets. Okay. Now at this point, as I said, the value of count is never going to change, but we're going to use the nth term to go up. So the nth term is n is equal to n plus 1. Okay, but that's not actually going to work for us because our variable is n and our variable here is count, so we need to change that slightly. We're going to change it to count and count. And what this is saying is, remember from if you haven't watched one of my earlier videos, things that are happening down the page, further down the page, will overwrite things that happened previously. So at this point here, count is equal to 0. At this point here, count is equal to 0. At this point here, count is actually still equal to 0, but count, so 0, is equal to 0 plus 1, which is 1. So at this point, we are further down the page than here. Count is now equal to 1, so we could almost change that to the value of 1, at least in your head, you change it. Second time through, count is equal to 1, count is equal to 1, count is equal to 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, It's further down the page, further through the program, that has the value of 2, so on and so forth. I bet there are easier ways to demonstrate this, but you need to think of this as sort of like a roll that's constantly moving down, constantly looping around the same thing. You are further through the program. And that's it in a nutshell. So if I run this now, it's going to say, so that's going to save. It's going to say, what would you like? I would like a banana, I would like an apple, I would like a pear, I'm very healthy, I would like a hat, I would like a sock, I would like whatever. So we've done that 5 times. It doesn't come to any conclusion, but once we've done it those 5 times, the value of count is not less than 5. Therefore, this is now false. So it won't run anymore. And that is while loops in a nutshell. As I said right at the top of the video, they can get infinitely more complicated than that. The logic behind them can get far more complex, and I will do more higher level, more advanced videos on this at some point in the future. But for now, that is what you need to know about basic while loops. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.